Hey everyone, today I'm going to be ranking the Saw movies. So heads up, there's probably going to be some graphic imagery in the clips I use. Starting off down at the bottom of the barrel, number 8 is Saw 3D, or the final chapter. Pro tip, if you want to make sure your horror sequel isn't the last entry in the franchise, call it the final chapter, or the final something. Put the word final in there, or otherwise imply that it's the last one, because then it won't be. You know, reverse psychology and all that. I mean, seriously. Nightmare on Elm Street, Lake Placid, Friday the 13th, twice, and this movie. This is the one that almost killed the franchise. Throughout most of the franchise, the acting has been fairly consistently good, but in this movie, it's just awful overall. There are a couple solid kills, but most of them use too much CG blood, and the crappy 3D effects aren't helping. There's also one kill towards the end that's just mean-spirited, and just, ugh, no. Why?
Joyce?
Bobby!
Cary Elwes is back, but for some reason his voice is different than it was in the first Saw movie, and it just sounds weird. Like, it sounds wrong. Like, this isn't Dr. Gordon. Who is this person? The writing is bad, the plot twists don't really make sense, and the traps have lost most of their creativity.
Hello, Brad. Hello, Ryan. I'm going to play a game. The same woman has played each of you for a fool, manipulating your love for her and causing nothing but pain. Her fun and games pushed you both to break the law to fulfill her material needs.
This movie is just dumb overall, even by Saw standards. My score is 1 out of 5. Number 7 is Saw 3. I've seen a lot of people rank this one higher, but for me, it's a very frustrating movie. And there's really one main reason for that. Slow-ass motherfucking Jeff. The protagonist is supposed to be the person you root for, the one who you want to see win. But this man is just so slow and indecisive that it's fucking irritating. And aside from him, I'm not a fan of villain Amanda. Shawnee Smith was really good playing a victim in the first two movies, but now that she's a villain, she's just bad. The rest of the acting is fine, the traps are pretty good, and the drama actually works sometimes. My score is 2 out of 5. Number 6 is Saw 5. Most of the traps in this movie are fine, but the one with the nail bombs is just stupid. How is it not obvious that multiple people can fit in each hole? I realize these people are supposed to be selfish, but that doesn't mean they lack common sense. Or, you know, eyes. Anyway, there are a couple pretty badass moments, and I do love the twist, even if it's not entirely earned. My score is 2.25 out of 5. Number 5 is Saw 4. 4 and 5 kind of get mixed up in my head, because, I don't know, it's hard to distinguish them sometimes, but I think 4 is slightly better. The traps are good, and the acting is solid. The climax is cool, and the twist is pretty good too. On the other hand, the editing uses more and more of those weird transitions that just, I don't know. Like, they look cool, but they're nonsensical. The writing is meh, and there's a bunch of stuff that makes no sense. My score is 2.5 out of 5. My number 4 is Saw 2. This movie reminds me of The Lost World Jurassic Park, in that they were going for more, bigger, better. And they succeeded with 2 out of 3. Because they did more, and they did it bigger, but they didn't necessarily do it better. The acting is good and the traps are solid, and sometimes really painful to watch.
Down on your knee!
I'm afraid I can't do that.
Get him in restraints now. You have a right to remain silent. You have a right to an attorney. If you can't afford one, one will be appointed to you by the city.
He's clean. Hey. Is this close enough?
The music is pretty awesome, and the plot is more coherent than most of the other sequels. A score is 3 out of 5. Number 3 is Saw 6. This one was directed by Kevin Grudert, the editor of the first 5 movies, and I think he did a pretty good job. There's still stuff that makes no sense, but the plot feels more streamlined and less confusing, relatively speaking. The traps here are some of the best in the franchise overall, and not just because of their designs. In this case, they force the trap's subject, William, to make hard choices and put other people's lives in his hands, instead of just his own. In the Shotgun Carousel, which is arguably the best of the movie, he has the lives of 6 people on his hands. He can only save 2, and when it comes down to the last 2 with 1 save left, he puts his hand in the trap before it stops, showing that he doesn't want to make the choice himself. It's good character writing. Also, the scene where Hoffman is about to be outed as Jigsaw's accomplice is awesome.
Whoever made this tape had access to some very impressive audio filtration equipment.
Right now, you're feeling helpless.
Fortunately, we have some tricks of our own here. We can turn his algorithm upside down and let us hear what he really sounds like.
Let's hear what you got.
Feeling helpless.
Seriously, that's symbolism in a Saw movie. Because I guarantee that line was chosen out of all the other lines in the tape because it's exactly how Hoffman feels in that situation.
There it is.
Right now, you're feeling helpless.
Well done. My score is 3.25 out of 5. Number 2 is Jigsaw. I have one major problem with this movie, and it's the twist. It's revealed that the main trap plot actually happened 10 years ago. Okay, I didn't see that coming, so that's something. But here's the thing. If that's true, then how the hell were there flat-screen HD TVs? Because 10 years before that would have been 2007. So how were there modern flat-screen HD TVs in 2007? Beyond that, this is a solid movie. The acting is good, and it's well shot and well edited. The characters aren't all smart, but they are all within a believable range of intelligence. The mystery is pretty intriguing, and most of the traps and kills are solid. My score is 3.5 out of 5. Finally, my number 1 is the original Saw. There are plenty of reasons the original is the best, but there's one main one. Restraint. James Wan knows what to hold back and when to hold it back. He knows what to show and what not to show. When Dr. Gordon is sawing his foot off, you get like 1 or 2 quick shots of him doing it, and the rest of it is just his and Adam's faces reacting. When Adam is killing Zepp, you don't really see any of it. You just see Adam's rage, and it's one of the few scenes where Leigh Whannell's acting is actually good. Speaking of which, Leigh Whannell is not a very good actor. He has a couple good moments, but overall he's just not. But he is a great writer, and Cary Elwes more than makes up for Winnell's subpar acting. The car chase is one of the worst car chases I've ever seen in a movie, but the flashback to Adam's abduction is excellent. This isn't a perfect movie by any means, but it's definitely the best of the franchise. My score is 4 out of 5. Hey everyone, let me know what you think. Like and subscribe and all that, and if you don't like the video, subscribe anyway so you can tell me how bad my other stuff is. That's all for now. Stay safe in these crazy times.